Our top story at this moment, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has released the first set of files on the freedom fighter. The first set of 100 files that were classified till now are now declassified for the first time ever. But the Netaji files at this moment have confirmed, because it has officially, part of it is the first inquiry commission report, which had in fact suggested earlier also that Netaji died in an air crash. The Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Inquiry Committee had concluded in a report dated September 11, 1956, that Netaji met his death as a result of an air crash at Taihuko airfield at Formosa on the 18th of August 1945, and his ashes were kept at the Renkoji temple in Tokyo. Let's go across to Sandeep Punithan at this moment. Sandeep, this was a foregone conclusion. The first inquiry commission report did identify the reason of his death as an air crash, and that seems to be part of these declassified documents which we have been able to gather. However, as you have also been saying, the real surprise is going to be if any of these files even remotely suggest a view contrary to this.
Sanket, the Shahnawaz committee was the first to suggest that Netaji died in the air crash on 19th of August 1945. Interviewed, survivors of that plane crash in Formosa that you just mentioned. However, the Shahnawaz committee and, in fact, the Khosla committee in the 70s did not actually travel to Taiwan, did not visit the airfield where this crash is believed to have occurred. Which the Justice Mukherjee Commission did in 2006. Now, Justice Mukherjee visited the airfield, of course, many years later, actually after the air crash, where they found that there was no evidence to suggest that there was an air crash on that particular day in 1945. So that's one of the reasons why it's never been conclusively proven that there was an air crash in 1945. And that's the reason that you've had commissions of inquiry in the last 50 years, which have not been able to come to a definite conclusion that the air crash did indeed happen. So what we are seeing today is the Shahnawaz committee findings, which said that there was an air crash. They did interview members of the so-called the survivors of the crash, but they did not visit Taiwan. As you know, we had very good relations with China, and Taiwan was seen as a relic. China.
Okay, Sandeep, the latest as far as these Netaji files are concerned have revealed one crucial aspect. It has highlighted the report of the first inquiry commission, which concluded that Netaji died in a plane crash. So in that sense, the doubts that the family had, this report has concluded that those doubts are largely going to remain, because this is something which was in public domain. The government of the day had concluded that these are people. This report has concluded that Netaji died in the air crash. Unless this report comes up with another version, the family will have to live with this particular version, which is part of the present set of declassified documents. Apart from that, the document also says that the AICC, or the All India Congress Committee, was sending 6,000 rupees per annum to Netaji's daughter up to 1964. This was stopped when she got married in 1965. And Netaji's wife did not want any money. The government as such was not giving any money. So it was the All India Congress Committee which was giving money, but not the government of the day. That is what is part of this declassified document, which has been declassified today at the National Archives of India. Javed is with us. Javed, that particular point, the news that we broke at about 11 a.m., that the Prime Minister, no, not the Prime Minister, the person who later went on to become Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru of the Congress Party, in 1945, had called Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose a war criminal in a letter to the British Prime Minister. Do you think this is something which will haunt the Congress at this moment? Because the Congress, rather than being haunted, now concludes that this letter was fake.
That's the defense that the Congress is putting up.
And unless that letter is produced.
Unless that letter is produced and it's authenticated. Look, the fact of the matter is that whatever political damage or advantage that people had to accrue has already been credited or deducted, debited. Now, so many years after Netaji's tragic death, I don't know how much more political traction there is left in this. Of course, it will be.
Is there any, from your political understanding ahead of the West Bengal elections, is there any political traction that political parties can pull out from Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose?
Look, the Congress is a minor player by all accounts in West Bengal. If this had something against the Trinamool Congress, one could then do it. Both the BJP as well as the Congress. The BJP is running to get a foothold. The Congress is fighting to stay relevant. The fight is primarily between the Trinamool Congress and the left, and neither of them have anything to do with this.
And so both of them are pro declassification.
Yes, absolutely. So I don't know how this will impact. I don't think it's so much of Bengal. The hope was that perhaps it would paint the Nehru Gandhi family in really dark colors, that it will lend credit to a lot that is being whispered, the insinuation campaign, that perhaps the India's first Prime Minister or the government or certain political leaders of that day had a role to play. All that, evidently, we don't know whether much credence has been lent to that, because the first news that we are getting in here is just confirms what we already know, that Netaji died in a plane crash, and his daughter Anita Bose has gone on record to say that she believes in her heart of hearts that to be true, that he did indeed die in a plane crash in 1945. So within the family itself, there's more than one opinion.
Absolutely. Javed, do stay on with us. We've got Sandeep Punithan also. We'll come across to you, Sandeep, and get in a perspective from you. Let's quickly now go across to Amita, who joins us with more details from those files which have been declassified today. Remember, more than 100 files have been declassified. We now know that the AICC had been sending 6,000 rupees per year to Netaji's daughter in 1964. Amita now joins us with all the latest details that she has been able to gather, sifting through those files, some preliminary information that we have been able to gather. Amita, it's over to you.
All right, Sanket, over here we've opened the website where these files have been digitized and have been kept open for the public. This is the website called netajipapers.gov.in/allpapers. In the first page, we are seeing nearly 10 files, which goes up to the number of 100. And these have been released by the PMO, which has files like death of Subhash Chandra Bose, appointment of an inquiry committee to go in the circumstance of the death, widow and daughter of Subhash Chandra Bose, miscellaneous correspondence with and about the disappearance of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and also the widow and daughter of Shri Subhash Chandra Bose, miscellaneous correspondence with and about. And these files goes up to the number of 100 that they have been declassified today. Talking about the letter that you were just mentioning, Sanket, is this letter, I will show my viewers all in a bigger way. This is the letter which says the AICC has been sending around 6,000 rupees per annum to Netaji's daughter up to the year 1964. And this was stopped when she got married in 1965. Netaji's wife did not want any money, and the government was not ready to send any money to her later on. And also we are getting what all is there in these files is one more file which says that Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Inquiry Committee conducted a report dated September 11th, 1956, says that Netaji met with his death as a result of an air crash at Taihoku Airfield in Formosa.
Yes, Amita. Amita, thanks very much at this moment.